All right, recording. Here we go. Spencer, Janet, Chris was here a second ago, but it's good to have you. We'll get started with some tunes here. So we're talking about maybe starting with the famous Ballymote. I will play it a couple times slow and then a couple times fast, and then we'll break it down. I always find that the more times I can hear a tune before I learn it, the more my brain is like subliminally prepped for tunes. So let me just one thing. Probably a little bit too fast starting at with the first time through, but we'll go slowly through it. That sounds good. So the first little bit of notes. So try one more time by yourselves. Okay. I'm just getting this screen perfectly sorted here. Get the screen on the right side. There we go. How does that feel? Got the notes? Okay. So and then the next bit is so it's so far we have again. Again. How's that feeling? Anybody want to play it? Good?
I'll play it.
Yeah, great. Thanks, Spencer.
Sorry, let me just check my original sound. There you go. Now I'm on.
Lovely. Yeah, that's great. Janet, do you want to play it, or it's up to you?
Sure, I'll fumble through it a little bit here.
Okay. Yeah, lovely. Yeah, that's good. That's it. So then the next phrase is the same as the first phrase, which is it does that again. So just do it one more time with me. And then it goes. have the second half of the first of the A part is. So again. Again. Yeah, and that's the whole A part. It's just those two things. Let me just check Discord to make sure I'm not being summoned here. He's got a little notification. Oh, they're trying to. Okay. Okay. I think they're good. Session. Okay. Cool. So the whole A part with me. By yourself one time? How's that feel? Good? Good? Okay, great, great. B part. So the B part is. The first 8 notes are. So. Again. One more time. Feel okay? Good? Cool. Next 8 notes. And that's the same second 8 notes from the A part. It's the cut and repaste kind of thing. So the first half of the B part is just. Again. 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 And then the next part is. So that's the same as the first half of the B part. It's again. And then the last phrase is borrowed from the end of the A part, which is just. So let's do the second half of the B part, those two phrases together. Again. Again. So the B part in sum is a little slower. Again. How's that feel? Cool. Okay, cool. Let's that's the whole tune. It's like a very nice, straightforward, kind of simple tune. Let's try the whole thing. Kind of slowly at first. B part. Again. Back to the A part. Again. One more time. You want to try it by yourselves? Or muted or unmuted? It's up to you. No pressure. It's okay. We can, let's see. Yeah, so some things about this one. Yeah? Hey, Spencer.
Were you inviting us to play on without unmuted or?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't. I thought we were just like on our own.
If you want. Give it a
I'll give it a try.
either way.
Now that I've got the B part is more memorable somehow than the A. The A is like receded a little bit, so I was relying on.
Yeah.
Paul. But
The A really like is a smooth. It's a very like empty canvas of a tune onto which you can kind of paint any kind of rhythm and any kind of ornamentation, any kind of groove that you want. So it's
I mean, I'll
give it a shot.
I'll play it, and I'll try not to fancy it up or anything.
Lovely. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, yeah.
Try not to change anything consciously, but
Oh no, I mean that's improvisation is the the foundation of Irish traditional music.
right.
Accidental improvisation for me especially. Janet, do you want to try? No pressure.
The A part kind of got a little muddled.
It's okay. Yeah.
So the B is mostly there. The A, I got a little muddled up.
Yeah. That's the beat part for sure. That's good. Yeah. Hi Sarah. We have one more joining us now. So some things about it that are used to. We just finished teaching the first tune, so it's recording, so we can get it later. But you're in time for the second tune, and just a couple thoughts on the first tune. So Spencer, I thought I heard a nice space for a triplet there. I think you might have. You could put bow triplets in a couple different spots that are really nice. You can add some cuts. Where you're just doing a little interruption. I don't know exactly how that works on mandolin. But then there's also like this one, it's in D, and there's a lot of, like this arpeggiated D chord. Those three notes that's like the D chord. So there's a lot of like. You can do like a lot of things where you're kind of playing that extra, either the D or the a little bit extra. Pipers would be droning on the D all the time. They would just hit the drones on, and then there'd be like a constant undertone of a D. So you could do. And like do some of that stuff if you wanted to do that. But there's also lots of room for rolls. Last one, but yeah, it's a pretty straightforward tune and a good common one for sessions. Why don't I play? I have a couple other tunes in mind, and since this is recorded, I can just play a bunch of them. And if you want to learn them later, but you can then pick your favorite. We have maybe 2 or 3 votes here. So, well, another one that would go nice with this. That's called Castle Kelly. It's in A minor. It's another reel that you could put after this. Maybe one that's nicer though. It's a reel called I Have No Money. Every musician should learn it. That's two options there, Any strong feelings? Feelings at all?
Um,
Preferences?
the second one is built on it's more familiar to me because I think
Yeah.
it's related to some tunes that I'm already familiar with in terms of patterns. But I'm more challenged by the second one, minor. But I'm happy to go with either. What was the third one called?
Oh, sorry. I think I just played the two. The first one that I played was Castle Kelly. That's the one in A minor, and then the second one was I Have No Money. It's in D. So, were you leaning towards the first or the? Which one was more challenging?
I mean, B is arguably a little easier than A minor, but I'm more
Yeah.
challenged by finding the notes in minor just by ear.
Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe we should keep it easy. It's kind of, and that's a nice set. The famous Ballymote with I Have No Money was a really nice set. The way it would sound would be it's kind of a nice like it's D mixed to D major, so it's a nice kind of a pull there. Yeah, so let's try that. So is that good, Janet? You up for this thumbs? Okay, cool. So just do that to start with. So again. One more time. And then it's you can also do a roll there. One more time. I'll go back to doing the three notes. So the first phrase is again. One more time. Is that okay? Cool. The second half is so the first little bit. Do it again. There's a lot of notes, phrases starting with an F, a second finger on the D string. And then that's the A, B, D, F. And I'll send ABC and sheet music after this. I'll have everything in a Dropbox folder. So. Again. And then it goes. So good. So. So the second half of the A part, the second phrase is. So it's. So, one more time. So far we have. Again, that's the whole A part. How's that seem? Good. Cool. Yeah, there's one note at the end that flips depending on whether you're going back into the A part or if you're going into the B part. And that note is. It's an A if you're going back into the A part, and it's an F if you're going into the B part. Or the other way is. So let's go. That's the whole A part. Let's play the A part again a couple more times just to get it. Fiddle is complaining about the lack of humidity. Here we go. One more. Yeah. So then going into the B part, there's a little pickup note. Most of the B part. Let's just go over that slowly. So it starts first finger, third finger. One more time. One more time. My dad used to always say one more time about like 10 times in a row. It's like, it can only be one more time if you say it once. The next phrase. Little stretch with the pinky finger. I didn't realize it, but if it's kind of nice to be able to see my fingers a little if I'm just sitting like this. So far we have. So. And then there's another phrase, the third phrase, the third group of 8 notes is the same as the first group of 8 notes, so it goes, and then it goes. So it goes A, B, A, G. Again. One more time. So. One more time. One more time. And that's most of the B part. There's like one note that again changes depending on whether you're going back into the A part or the B part. But let's play the whole B part together a couple times. Last time. Yeah. How's that feel? Good? Okay, cool. Let's play the whole thing. So the note that goes, the very last note is different. If you're going into the B part, it's again an F. But if you're going into the A part, it's an E. This E on the D string. So. And here we go. How's that feeling? You want to try it?
Oh. Is that me? Okay.
Yeah, go for it.
Do it quick before it falls out of my short-term memory.
You got it? Da, ba, da, da, da.
Am I making up a tune?
Yeah, no, you got it. You got it. Yeah,
Okay. I didn't mean to.
that's totally it. Nailed it.
Oh.
Um,
Reminds me of some other nice, really nice tunes. Sailor's Bonnet or no, Sailor on the Rock. No, now I can't remember. But something else. The modality is very pretty.
yeah, yeah. It's got some similarities to a lot of tunes, and it's nice and straight. It's got that like the call and response thing that a lot of nice, straightforward, simple tunes do. Much like the famous Bally Moat has also that. In fact, they could go in either order. You could go into, I feel like you might want to put another thing at the end of it if you do that, because that famous Bally Moat's like a cruising tune almost, and then this one is gets people's attention. I was once in New Zealand and we were busking in Wellington, and we were on the main street there, this walking street, and we weren't doing great until we played this tune. Then all of a sudden, we had all these people throw like €2 or not like the $2 coins into the. I think it was like a great busking tune for some reason, like a decade ago, but it was a good association with this tune. Some things that you can do. That it's nice to put a roll there if you can. You can always do a bowed triplet in the place of a roll, because a bowed triplet is 2 eighth notes and a roll is 3. So as long as you have a little extra eighth note in there, so that would sound like. Or with the roll. The roll, like a roll with the fiddle is just meant to be like an interruption in the sound more than the actual notes. And it's an interruption above, and then in an interruption below. So above, and then below. If you just do that really slowly and make it like 1% faster every day. Like you'll eventually get to the roll thing. That being said, I find it hard to do triplets on plectrum instruments. I don't really play melody plectrum instruments, but I need to apply that lesson myself of like being able to concisely do a plucked triplet. But it's the same. Anything with you like any ornamentation is just like slow it down, get it right really really slow, and then start speeding it up 1% a day, kind of a thing, and eventually. The miracle of compound interest, that 1% adds up. But so this tune, there's also a nice little like, you can do a cut there. Laura says I do too many cuts, so I try. Those are all the places I would do cuts if I was doing all the cuts, which I do too many of. You can do another roll there, a third finger roll. Third finger rolls are harder than first finger rolls because you have to use your pinky to get the little... you can also do some double stops. That's consistent with what the accompanist would be playing, because they'd be playing a D chord or some inversion of a D chord that has the notes, that has an A in it at that point. So that should work. The B part. The B part, I don't know how many ornaments I put into it there. I think when it comes to the B part, the really interesting thing is the bowing. Sarah, I'm not sure what instrument you're playing. And Spencer, you're not playing a bowed instrument. So, but like for, hey, oh, okay, whistle. All right, well, the very briefest summary of bowing that is relevant to all instruments is that the fiddle has a kind of a natural groove that's based on the bow, just like the flute and whistle have a groove that's based on the breaths that we take. And it's kind of nice to like lean into that or be aware of that. And with the fiddle, the real tricky thing is how to keep the bow like from falling off one way or the other. Because if you play this like, if you play it kind of evenly and you accentuate the kind of the downbeats, which if you accentuate the upbeats, it sounds like a polka. Like, so you end up here. So you gotta accentuate the downbeats, which means you're gonna end up off the tip of the bow. So you have to do this recovery up bow thing, and it's really apparent in the B part. Look for the recovery up bows in my bow here. That was one. I'm slurring 3 notes together to kind of get a little bow back. So the there's a lot of that in that tune. So that's one way to try and get those notes to kind of sound like they have that like a rhythm or a swing or groove without running out of bow on the fiddle. So that's that one. Maybe, let's see, we have 8 minutes left, or a little bit longer if we want to go long. I don't know if we have time to teach another tune. I could give you some tunes though, if you wanted. I could just like play some tunes really slowly and then fast also? What do we think? Thumbs up? Okay, cool. And then we can end with playing those 2 tunes together a couple times. So let's see. There's another reel called Mary O'Neill's Fancy that would go nicely with the 2 that we've done. I'll play it slow twice and then, or slow once and then fast twice. So. nice little, kind of the same groove of da 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 da. James Kelly says that you should always be able to lilt a tune before you start playing the tune, which is kind of true. Like if you can lilt it, you can likely play it. It's just like mapping the notes onto the instrument. There's a couple jigs that are really nice. Do you know patio rafferties? There's a bunch of patio rafferties. Here's one of them. So 3 times through, 1 time slow, 1 time faster without ornamentation, 1 time faster with ornamentation. So. Yeah, that one's fun. It's nice and peaceful. I'll do one more jig. There's one, the Dawn Chorus. Anyone know that one? Okay, last random tune. send the sheet music for all of those too, and the ABC. So cool. Let's play the couple tunes we learned today a couple times through, and I gotta go do a sound check.
You need our emails addresses to send those?
Yeah, actually, if you want to send those to me, I think Nora has them too. But just to double check, if you want to send them to my email is nathan.gourley @gmail.com.
That's easy.
And that should be pretty easy. Apparently Gmail doesn't, I don't think they actually use the dots for anything, so we say them and we write them, but they parse them right out. So either way.
Sorry, say it again.
Oh, it's nathan.gourley, Gourley, @gmail.com. And if you send me your email, I will send you the notes. And I have a little doc of favorite links and favorite fiddle players and some useful some good music online, interesting stuff. So I'll include that too, just as a fun stuff, basket of goodies. So famous Ballymote, we'll do it twice, and then I have no money twice. Nice. Good stuff. All right. Well,
I'm so sorry, I
thanks.
was off mute that whole time, I think. I apologize.
Oh no, I didn't. I didn't. I think it automatically
Oh, maybe it
did
did.
something. Yeah, I don't.
Sorry about that.
No worries. Oh, thanks, Spencer, for also adding me to my email is now in chat. So shoot me an email over, and I'll get you that stuff. And it's really nice hanging with you all today, and hope to catch you around. Well,
Thanks very much. Appreciate
Thanks, everyone. That
it.
was great.
Nice tunes.
thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks. Bye, everybody.
See you around. Bye.
See you around.